Section 183 of Childhood's Favourites and Fairy Stories. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Children's Favourites and Fairy Stories by various authors. Section 183, Persevere and Prosper. Persevere and Prosper, adapted by A.R. Montalba. He that seeketh shall find, and to him that knocketh shall be opened, says an old Arab proverb. I will try that, said a youth one day. To carry out his intention, he journeyed to Baghdad, where he presented himself before the vizier. Lord, said he, for many years I have lived a quiet and solitary life, the monotony of which wearies me. I have never permitted myself earnestly to will anything. But as my teacher daily repeated to me, he that seeketh shall find, and to him that knocketh shall be opened. So have I now come to the resolution with might and heart to will, and the resolution of my will is nothing less than to have the Caliph's daughter for my wife. The vizier thought the poor man was mad, and told him to call again some other time. Perseveringly he daily returned, and never felt disconcerted at the same often repeated answer. One day the Caliph called on the vizier, as the youth was repeating his statement. Full of astonishment, the Caliph listened to the strange demand, and being in no humour for having the poor youth's head taken off, but on the contrary, being rather inclined for pleasantry, his mightiness condescendingly said, For the great, the wise, or the brave, to request a princess for wife is a moderate demand. But what are your claims? To be the possessor of my daughter, you must distinguish yourself by one of these attributes, or else by some great undertaking. Ages ago a carbuncle of inestimable value was lost in the Tigris. He who finds it shall have the hand of my daughter. The youth, satisfied with the promise of the Caliph, went to the shores of the Tigris. With a small vessel he went every morning to the river, scooping out the water and throwing it on the land. After having for hours thus employed himself, he knelt down and prayed. The fishes became at last uneasy at his perseverance, and being fearful that, in the course of time, he might exhaust the waters, they assembled in great council. "What is the purpose of this man?" demanded the monarch of the fishes. "The possession of the carbuncle that lies buried in the bottom of the Tigris," was the reply. "I advise you then," said the aged monarch, "to give it up to him, for if he has the steady will, and is positively resolved to find it, he will work until he has drained the last drop of water from the Tigris, rather than deviate a hair's breadth from his purpose." The fishes, out of fear, threw the carbuncle into the vessel of the youth, and the latter, as a reward, received the daughter of the Caliph for his wife. He who earnestly wills can do much. End of section 183. Persevere and Prosper. Recording by Ross Clement.